Want to know your rights in the role you play? Introducing Police Dialogue, an interactive public service podcast. Each week, senior officers, law enforcement experts, the community leaders discuss crime prevention, community policing, road safety, and how citizens can help. Tune in, ask questions, be a part of the conversation that builds a safer Liberia. Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Police Dialogue, join the Liberian National Police and community leaders for weekly conversation on safety, rights, and road safety. Tune in on the official LNP Facebook page, Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Have you ever wondered how the Liberian National Police keep our community safe? Want to know your rights in the role you play? Introducing Police Dialogue, an interactive public service podcast. Each week, senior officers, law enforcement experts, the community leaders discuss crime prevention, community policing, road safety, and how citizens can help. Tune in, ask questions, be a part of the conversation that builds a safer Liberia. Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Police Dialogue, join the Liberian National Police and community leaders for weekly conversation on safety, rights, and road safety. Tune in on the official LNP Facebook page, Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Have you ever wondered how the Liberian National Police keep our community safe? Want to know your rights in the role you play? Introducing Police Dialogue, an interactive public service podcast. Each week, senior officers, law enforcement experts, the community leaders discuss crime prevention, community policing, road safety, and how citizens can help. Tune in, ask questions, be a part of the conversation that builds a safer Liberia. Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Police Dialogue, join the Liberian National Police and community leaders for weekly conversation on safety, rights, and road safety. Tune in on the official LNP Facebook page, Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Have you ever wondered how the Liberian National Police keep our community safe? Want to know your rights in the role you play? Introducing Police Dialogue, an interactive public service podcast. Each week, senior officers, law enforcement experts, the community leaders discuss crime prevention, community policing, road safety, and how citizens can help. Tune in, ask questions, be a part of the conversation that builds a safer Liberia. Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Police Dialogue, join the Liberian National Police and community leaders for weekly conversation on safety, rights, and road safety. Tune in on the official LNP Facebook page, Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Have you ever wondered how the Liberian National Police keep our community safe? Want to know your rights in the role you play? Introducing Police Dialogue, an interactive public service podcast. Each week, senior officers, law enforcement experts, the community leaders discuss crime prevention, community policing, road safety, and how citizens can help. Tune in, ask questions, Be a part of the conversation that builds a safer Liberia. Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Police Dialogue. Join the Liberian National Police and community leaders for weekly conversation on safety, rights, and road safety. Tune in on the official LNP Facebook page, Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection.
Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon. Depends on where you're following us from. This is the Police Dialogue, a public service program of the Liberian National Police. Today we will be discussing police-community relations. And we have as our special studio guest, the Chief of Community Service here at the Liberian National Police. My name is Sam Collins. When we come back, we'll dive into the program.
In progress. Have you ever wondered how the Liberian National Police keep our community safe? Want to know your rights and the role you play? Introducing Police Dialogue, an interactive public service podcast. Each week, senior officers, law enforcement experts, the community leaders discuss crime prevention, community policing, road safety, and how citizens can help. Tune in, ask questions, be a part of the conversation that builds a safer Liberia. Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Police Dialogue. Join the Liberian National Police and community leaders for weekly conversation on safety, rights, and road safety. Tune in on the official LNP Facebook page, Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress.
Rejoining us on the program, Police Dialogue, like I said previously, is a public service program produced by the Liberian National Police. And we have as our special studio guest here today the Chief of Community Service, ACP Samuel G. Ford. ACP, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, DCP Collins. It's a great pleasure to be here, this great studio, here at the Liberian National Police headquarters.
Today is Thanksgiving Day. Did you go to church?
Oh, well, I didn't actually go to church this afternoon, but however, we praise God in our house because, Thanksgiving to me is every day. Mm-hmm. Every day is a day of Thanksgiving. Yes. So we thank God for today, to all Liberians.
Certainly, looking at the kind of a job that we do, and when you leave your house in the morning, your family continue to wonder whether you're ever going to return. Mm-hmm. And so I believe strongly that the founding father of our country made no mistake to set a day aside to give thanks to the Almighty God. Keep sharing the show and let your comments keep coming. And there's an interactive show. Later on, we'll be opening our telephone lines to make sure that they'll give you the opportunity to participate on this unique program. This is the media edition of the program, Police Dialogue. And I'm your host, Sam Collins. Like I said, we have with us the Chief of Community Service of the Liberian National Police, ACP Samuel G. Ford. He will be training us through the activities of his section and what the police department is involved with as it relates to community service. Ford, just tell our audience or viewers a little bit about yourself. Who is Assistant Commissioner of Police Samuel Ford?
Thank you so much to our listening audience. First and foremost, ACP Ford is the head of the Community Services section of the Liberian National Police, and have served the organization by the grace of God to up to 20 unbroken years.
20 years?
Yes, 20 years, unbroken years, with professionalism and integrity. And we have been able to navigate through our work through various sections of the mission of the LNP. Firstly, entered in 2004, when all male just came in, we did brand new of the Liberian National Police. So we went through the academy, class 3, and then later on, we graduated from the police academy, and then took our first assignment at the Special Task Force, the then Special Task Force, where we served there for a couple of years, and then later on, we were able to, transition. So we transitioned from the STF to that of the uh, police support unit. We're talking about rebranding the LMP at the time, from taking it from that aspect of the civil conflict.
So were you part of those that went to Nigeria?
Yes, I was part of the 300 men that went to Nigeria at the Great Police Mobile Field Training College in Borno State, where we did combined operation, jungle survival, high risk operation, rescue mission, and riot control and crowd control. A host of talking about VIP protection. Those were kind of the courses that we went through the Mobile Field Training College.
Great, Ford. You come with wealth of experience to this job. And, educational wise, can you just tell the public who you are?
Okay, yeah. Also, so educational wise, the LMP will try to disabuse the minds of public, those who have the notion that being a law enforcement officer, you don't have, it's a field, people who are failed in life and the transition to law enforcement. And this perception is not only limited to Liberia.
It's not a fallback position.
Yeah, it's not a fallback position. This is a professional institution
Certainly.
that attract professionals from all angles.
Certainly.
So we came to the police, and then we have to go back to school, where we obtained our first bachelor degree in social demographic from the University of Liberia. And then later on, we went back and obtained master degree in peace and conflict studies. And also I have went to the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, where I obtained a postgraduate certificate in public administration.
And that was through the initiative.
Yeah, the initiative.
Inspector General Police.
Yes, during the time, at the time, the Arab that was supported by the Ireland government, to the Liberian National Police. I'm also a Rotary Peace Fellow, where I obtained a postgraduate diploma in peace. I'm a peace, my area of specialization is in peace and conflict studies. There where I get all of my degrees.
Thank you, Ford. Thank you. Because we could be here all day, and sometimes when I enter your office, I see all your credentials on the wall in the office. Like you said, the law enforcement should not be seen as a fallback position for people who are failing other areas of life. And, it's good to have you here, Ford. We're going to go through this program for the next hour. And we ask our viewers to keep sharing the show, keep commenting, and have your say on this great program. Last week was a very busy week, and I saw the Inspector General in Louisiana, I saw him in Harrisburg. What did he tell the people on the community service street that you guys were?
It was quite interesting. Actually, organized this community outreach activities program. And let me just inform the public that the LMP, the Liberian National Police.
Okay, I will be seen up told by the technician. We're taking a quick break. We will be right back.
That's the one.
Have you ever wondered how the Liberian National Police keep our community safe?
Me?
Want to know your rights and the role you play? Introducing Police Dialogue, an interactive public service podcast. Each week, senior officers, law enforcement experts, the community leaders discuss crime prevention, community policing, road safety, and how citizens can help.
Testing
Tune in,
1 2 testing.
ask questions, be a part of the conversation that builds a safer Liberia.
Me?
Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress.
Okay, testing.
Police Dialogue. Join the Liberian National Police and community leaders for weekly conversation on safety, rights, and road safety. Tune in on the official LMP Facebook.
Okay, we apologize for that breaking transmission, but we're back here on the program, Police Dialogue, a public service program produced by the Liberian National Police. We have as our special studio guest the Chief for Community Service here at the NNP, Samuel G. Ford, ACP Samuel G. Ford. I was asking you about the perception, not the perception, but what did the
IGP.
Inspector General say at the time of all the programs that you guys went to?
Yeah, so basically, I just wanted to bring the public mind to, how the LMP principle is being built upon. It's built upon the community policing concept, community orientation policing. The Inspector General of Police took a tour at the Carisburg district. And that particular meeting was very, very interesting. We had stakeholders, we had the mayor being represented, we had people from the court, we had a prominent citizen of Carisburg district. And as you may be aware, that Carisburg is a big area, very big, one of the biggest areas in Moserado County. So basically, community policing is all about solving problems. That's one of the main objectives of community policing, to be able to listen, to have a joint collaboration with the public, with the community, to be able to solve issues, to be able to identify issues. So based on that backdrop, the Inspector General of Police will have his ear listening to the people, and you could hear feedbacks with regards to the issue of security concern, the issue of land disputes were being one of the top priorities of the people of Carisburg, wherein people just come into the community and then have colors and machetas, say they are protecting their land, and what have you, causing problem, causing mayhem, causing, a violence against police officer, terrorizing people. People can no longer go on their own land. So that has become a serious issue. And land dispute was one of the triggers, for our Liberian civil conflict, So those were some of the issues. And the citizen also raised a concern with regards to the issue of public safety, where you have huge truck, passing in a land, going on the highway, the accident rate is very high over there. You have children crossing the street going to school. So those were some of those things that were being raised. The issue of low deployment of police officers within the Carisburg terrain. And, those were some of the issues raised because Carisburg is big, and the mayor said that because of some of the challenges, they don't have, city police being deployed there yet because of some resources constraints. So the LMP all bucks back to the Liberian National Police. So having listened to all of these issues and concern, because community initiative in policing is a joint problem solving approach. So the IGP have no time wasted to be able to encourage the people and say that, yes, we will have team of officers from the police support unit to be deployed within a couple of weeks' time.
Okay, great.
In a couple of weeks' time, you have armed police officer being deployed within the Carisburg district. But mind you, before then, the IGP said that those officers will go through some periodic training, training in human rights, training in community-oriented policing, training in the use of force continuous, and different aspects of training with regards to emotional intelligence, because, officers need to go be drilled, through this training so that they can have the mindset to have that community, policing orientation, because no matter where you come from within the LMP or in any police organization, whether the PSU, whether the ERU, whether the CSD, whether the traffic, you are considered a community policing officer.
Thank you for
yeah.
And I think the quick response from the Inspector General will help to narrow the gap between the community and the police department in that local. And we say hats off to the Inspector General for being very sensitive in answering to the cause of the people. Let's get to the meat of the issue. That we are here to discuss police-community relations. And I'm one person that love to give credit to other chiefs within the police department. I monitor other chiefs working at CDS, and sometimes I walk to them, to the department or section, and congratulate them. You are one person that have come under my radar, working very hard to make sure that we promote the image of the police department. My next question to you is, what inspired you? What drove you to community policing?
Before joining the Liberian National Police, or before coming to the police, I was thinking for direction, because when I was coming, I wanted to become a medical doctor. That was the first thing. And you know, my late father was a police officer also.
Okay.
So it's a generation stuff. And I've been in during those days in the 80s, really used to admire the work of the police. You know, so my late father used to bring me to central headquarters and see. I used to understand the code. We teach the code. We honor the code and understand the code at that level, at that age. Okay. You know, so when the Civil War erupted, you know, I saw the landmark of the conflict being driven. You know, after the civil conflict, the first, the Second World War, whatever. When we came back, you know, there was a complete breakdown of law and order. You understand? The community could no longer have trust within the Liberian National Police because, quote unquote, the SOD and other apparatus of the police at the time participated in the conflict. So that preconceived notion with regards to trust and confidence were being lost. You know, I remember police officer was not accountable to the public at the time. Any officer who had done something without any question, not in a professional standard division or what have you.
No reprimand.
So looking at those issues at the time, you know, the rise of the conflict that brought in all of the stuff, you know, I look at it, I say, I think I need to, you know, be able to double or to serve in a professional manner. I want to see somebody get justice. I want to see the poor. You know, the law is needed for the poor. I always say to people, the protection of the law is for the poor. Equality before the law. I want to see somebody get justice. I want to see somebody be served. You understand? I want to bring in professionalism. You know, so those are things that drive me. You know, having being a little kid watching the police grow at the time and looking at the change in transition because of the advent of the civil conflict. You know, I remember those days we used to form what we call vigilante group. You know, everyone in that community, as soon as 6 o'clock, you tie your hair, you get colors and other thing. Vigilante group is somebody enter your community after 6 o'clock and you don't remember the password. For example, my password in Jalatan at the time, when we say, who are you? You must say the hierarchy. And you don't respond to the hierarchy, then it means that you are enemy to us. And what will we do? We will grab that person, beat them unmercifully. The question comes in, were the civilian or the citizen, successful doing the right thing? No. Even though we were arresting people, but were they actually criminal? You understand? Because the Liberian law says a person is presumed what? Innocent, unless proven otherwise guilty in the code of competent jurisdiction. So those were the kind of activities, jungle justice, eye for an eye, that was involved within the state at the time. So being a young man, you know, after the war subsided, when all male came in during the recruitment process, I saw the need in 2004 to form part of the new Liberian National Police. And I believe that police work is a calling. Just how you have a pastor, you have the imam, you have the doctor, they are called to serve. If you just enter any institution or organization with your own, like some people, you ask them, why do you want to join the Liberian National? Oh, because no job in the country. Yeah. So if you think that there is no job in the country, you think if that person joined the police, what he come to do? What he or she come to do? To hustle, right? To do other things out of the way.
Undermine the image of
so that, you know, it actually drove me through that aspect because we saw what happened during the civil conflict. We saw the action of some law enforcement officer. So because of that, we saw it as a gap to be able to take advantage and contribute immensely professionalism, call to serve with passion. One of the things that drives me is passion.
Certainly.
Because if you don't have passion to serve in any institution of any organization, you're going to do it the other way around.
Thank you for
yes.
And I see why you do your job or you execute your task with a whole lot of professionalism, with passion, and what have you, because you are driven by what you do.
Yeah.
And you came into the police force with a direction, wanting to serve.
Sure.
Thank you so much for your service. And my next question would be, why do we need community policing? Why? What is the essence?
Look, community policing, you know, like the IGP has always said, what service have you rendered as a policeman that the citizen will say, yes, I have been served by a police officer.
Somebody may ask that, look, we are not bankers.
You are not what?
We are not bankers to provide service to people. And so
Look.
why do we need the community to appraise us?
But the organization is based on service orientation. Service, you have to be service oriented. You have to provide service to people, and that's what community policing is all about. It's a work, collaboration, it is a philosophy, organizational strategy between the police and the community to be able to work together, to be able to solve problems, to be able to build the issue of trust. Community policing is all about trust building. It's all about forming a cohesive partnership. And like I said, I gave an example the last time when I was on your busy show. We are the husband to the community, and the community, they are our wives. Mm-hmm. The way you treat the community people, the way you treat your wife in the home, the way you take care of her, the kind of service you render to her as a husband within the home, even the children will be able to obey you as a father. You understand? But in the interim, wherein the father comes home drunk, for example, the father become irresponsible, for example, you think your wife going to respect you? You think the children are going to respect you? That draws the line, of dichotomy between the law enforcement and the public. That's what Sarabapi said. If you look at Sarabapi non-policing principle, which has been driven, that one of my ideas have been driven by to serve from that non-policing principle. The first mission of the police, he said, is to be able to prevent. You understand? Is to be able to prevent crime and social disorder. He talks about what? Every action of the police is being scrutinized or will be scrutinized by members of the public. So we are on scope. He said the police is the public, and the public is what? Is the police. The police people know what have been paid by public service. So Sarabi motion and principle will just be based on service orientation, right? Service oriented. Public service by the police to all the community. To prevent. Community policing is all about being proactive to prevent crime from happening. That traditional aspect of policing, we need to take it away and be very proactive. And that's the reason why our LP community policing policy is a philosophy. It should be a philosophy. It should not be a department approach where it's something that for responsible community policing, so far will go, so far will go. No. We cannot be present everywhere at once. In your lay work as a CSD questioner, are you sensitive to community policing orientation? As PSU officer, are you sensitive to community policing orientation? Not because you are a police officer, so you should make yourself to be, very much like that way, too tactical or too operational. Release yourself because you render services. Go into the community, have a friendly, approach with the community, interact with the people. That's the essence of community policing. Because when you draw closer to the people, you know what happened? They trust. I gave you one example. When Dawuda was assigned to Zone 5 at the time, Dawuda, right now he's 78. I just gave one example. One of the officers, he went through our community policing initiative training, and 2-5 days he called me to a total base error in real life. He said, "For me, I can sleep. I can rest. Sometimes I go." The community people bring in criminal, they call it criminal, they bring it them to me. The arresting situation, bringing them to me, to the police. So why it does that? It builds trust, it builds confidence, it creates an environment that is social cohesion, cohesion theory between the police and the community. So it makes police work easier.
For the next thing would be that whenever we carry on a recruitment drive, right, we take our officers from the community. But today, the very community that we take the officers from, members of the community don't like to see the police. Officers are being beaten upon, officers are being killed. Why then do we need a stronger relationship with the community?
We need to build a relationship because I tell you, colleagues, the thing is, we join an organization, what we call collective indictment. When one officer does wrong, it becomes a preconceived notion by the member of the public. And that's why police officers feel at times. Because when one person does wrong, the public think that every police officer is the same. So they have that mindset, they have that hatred for police because of one officer action. You understand what I'm saying? So the issue is, we must be able to This abuse that notion. Take, for example, the traffic officer, they merely deal with people within the traffic on the public, right? How do you approach a driver? How do you speak to a driver? You rendering services. The men pay you, right? How are you, sir? For example, can I see your driving license? You take advice. You must be able to explain, educate the driver. If you issue a ticket, you must be able to tell that driver what he or she is being issued a ticket. And at the end result, tell him that the ticket can be challenged. Because the Liberian National Police, the police is not the final arbiter of justice. But the issue of altercation and confrontation comes in from the way we approach at the time. What happens if a traffic officer, you try to stop the driver, for example, take the key from the man, back on this side, do this, we should order give people their respect. How many times do we even warn a driver, for example? Sometimes people make mistake. Sometimes people do something that is done deliberately, right? Yeah. Those are two distinct functions. But the way you will conduct yourself to avoid altercation, to avoid reproach, the driver asks, let me see your identification card. You take it as an offense, for example. That's his right. Because you got different people on the street. So if the man said, let me see your identification card, the policeman will be able to identify himself and be able to give the driver or whatever, if you issue a ticket, tell him his offense, explain to him this is what you do. I can easily, confront to something, I can tell you in a wrong doing something, and then I also give you your punishment, your late punishment for it.
Yeah.
And then you will accept because you know why? Because you have understood what you did under the law. It's wrong. Okay. And let me carry you back also. Even in the interim of arrest, I remember since I joined the police, because you have to taste every department. I've been in the PSU, patrol, and other section. One day, I never went to conduct an arrest, for example, and then have an altercation with huge body man, building body man. The way I speak to you, how about you, sir? There's a situation that happened. You introduce yourself, identify yourself. I'm from XYZ. I'm here only because I'm being called for my duty and responsibility. I was not there when the situation happened. I was not there.
Exactly.
This is just an allegation. You have your right to telephone call.
Yeah.
You have your right to legal counsel. Anything you say will be used against you. But what if you just went to arrest him, man? The man want me to call, you jack the phone from him. You jack the phone from you. You hold him by your trousers, hold him by your shirt, do that. You create altercation. And you as a community policing trained officer, because everyone was trained at the Liberian National Police Training Academy in community policing. Our thing is we must be able to de-escalate. De-escalation. Because you know what? You're dealing with aggressive public also. They can be going high, you go too high. Continue to de-escalate to the extent that the person will calm down.
It brings me to my next question and the issue of public perception.
Yeah.
To be honest, we have suffered from negative public perception despite all of the policy that we have put into place here at the Liberian National Police to make the community to understand that we are there to provide the kind of a service that they need. What is the police department doing through their community service initiative to rebuild the confidence of the public into the police force as it relates to trust building?
Thank you, DCP Sam Collins. And one thing I want to also this abuse here is that they all leave that notion of being departmental approach. Like I said in my intro, it is a philosophy. Whether you're in the PSU, whether you're in the CSD, whether you're in the traffic, whether you're in the women and children protection section, you must be sensitive to community policing orientation. You understand? And we have series of activities that we organize.
The issue here is that the issue here is that the issue of community policing is a holistic approach.
A holistic approach
in the police department.
Yeah.
So when we talk about it, we are not talking about it on community level, because on a sectional level.
Okay.
You are not going to take your own salary, pay away, and charter vehicle to go into community service. That must be sponsored by the police department.
Yeah.
So when we ask, we not ask on sectional level.
Okay.
So we ask on a holistic level.
Yeah.
So my question that I asked previously is, how is the police department rebuilding the trust of the public within the police department? How? What is the police department doing to make sure that the community have trust within the department through the community service section?
So the good thing about community policing is less expensive. It's less expensive. Okay. Do you need to cross the street right now to go and talk? Do you need money to go across the street to talk to somebody about the police? Do you need money right now to cross the street?
I don't know.
You just need to walk, right? And have an interaction with the public. When the public see you, I tell you, they feel relief. It gives them the sense of belongings. So what we are doing right now, we introduce what we call the door-to-door community policing approach.
Yeah.
The GR when the community policing, we're in one-on-one. And that one builds, it go beyond even community policing, it builds relationship. It builds trust. As I leave from here, right now, you will see series of call. And you know the reason why? Because we are also educating the public. We use our awareness approach to educate the public, to train members of the public. So that's why when you see sometimes the public, there's some altercation, it's because the public is not aware that he's supposed to go to the Zoom and double for example, if the man have a case, he doesn't need to pay money to register a case. So right away, if that happening, they call me from there. For the last time we're in the training awareness, and then you say XYZ, but yeah, this is XYZ. And then I say, place a call to the policeman. And the man will deny. He say, oh, no, chief, I didn't say so, whatever. So those things matters, right? And we also have our hospital and clinic program. It will interest you to know that at the level of the hospital or the clinic, you have people who went through domestic violence, the issue of rape. So the question comes to mind, why are these people not reporting to the police station? The issue of confidentiality comes in. The issue of trust comes in. Many people feel ashamed to go to the police station. So we create that bond, that feeling with the doctor, and you will understand to know that the person will confide in the community policing officer and say, I was raped. And through that, we were able to knock down a suspected person.
Thank you so much. You are watching the Police Dialogue here from the podcast studio of the Liberian National Police. And today we have as our special studio guest the Assistant Commissioner of Police for Community Service, DCP Samuel Ford. When we come back, we'll open the lines so that we can get your concern right after this break.
Page, Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Have you ever wondered how the Liberian National Police keep our community safe? Want to know your rights and the role you play? Introducing Police Dialogue, an interactive public service podcast. Each week, senior officers, law enforcement experts, the community leaders discuss crime prevention, community policing, road safety, and how citizens can help. Tune in, ask questions, be a part of the conversation that builds a safer Liberia. Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Police Dialogue. Join the Liberian National Police and community leaders for weekly conversation on safety, rights, and road safety. Tune in on the official LNP Facebook page, Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Have you ever wondered how the Liberian National Police keep our community safe? Want to know your rights and the role you play? Introducing Police Dialogue, an interactive public service podcast. Each week, senior officers, law enforcement experts.
Thank you so much. We are back on the Police Dialogue, a public service program produced by the Liberian National Police. I am your host, DCP Sam Collins, and I have as my special studio guest, the Chief of Community Service, Samuel G. Ford. And we are talking police-community relations here. To participate, you can call the number on your screen, 0770-800-1272. 163 0770 800 163 0770 800 163. You can also call 0770 800 127. Those are the number on the screen. Thanks to Henry Bacon from the U.S. He's watching, and thanks to Pastor Harding and the rest of the crew who are taking the time to follow this all-important program being shown on the official page of the Liberia National Police. How important is the program to community service?
Very important, and if you watch the comments, you get to understand. And this is the essence that bridge the issue of trust and confidence, because the citizen want to understand the role and responsibility of the police and this citizen role. And let me just make this clear also with regards to some of the strategies. The police cannot fight crime alone. Crime cannot be fought in the vacuum, right?
So let's just take the call. Hello? Good evening and welcome to the Police Dialogue. Come again? Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining us. What are your concerns?
Yeah, Chief, I enjoy the program, but there's a need also to inform the public about the issue of 8 o'clock. Because normally, we always go arrest, 8 o'clock, the police, police don't arrest. It's a serious issue, sometimes officer and the accused, sometimes exchange words, try to educate them, who don't get sick. There's a need also to educate them on that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Chief.
Great. Normally, I've heard you got
debate and concern.
The flare is down.
Yeah.
And the police cannot arrest after 6 o'clock. What's that thing?
Let me just, because there have been a debate on a couple of times, and many police officers have different perspective from that angle. Mm-hmm. But what I think, it depends. The crime or the offense. You understand? It depends the crime or the offense. When you say police don't arrest 6 o'clock, it depends on the crime and the offense. Let's look at the issue of murder. Let's look at the issue of terroristic threats, on your lives. You understand? When you say if somebody's life is being threatened, maybe at 8 o'clock in the night, somebody have callers, the police can go in. But in the interim, where in like cases like misdemeanor, simple assault, somebody calls my mom, somebody calls my pa.
Is it a law or discretion?
It's a discretion in a sense.
By the
officer. And that is the reason why, to avoid altercation and confrontation and conflict. Because can a man be arrested soon? When they break or whatever, somebody abused somebody, for example. The person came to the police station about 10 o'clock. That thing happened once. One police officer left. It was about 12 minutes just for somebody insulting. You went there to arrest the man. It was a serious noise. You understand? Those kind of misdemeanor cases, it requires committed policing approach. It requires that system. That was Sarah you said. Policemen don't feel because when you have many people in your cell, then you mean that you're working. When you have people in your cell, that way you think I'm working, I'm a policeman working. No. Robert P. was saying that when a policeman whose cells is empty, it's a good police officer. Not all case. Not every case need to go to court. That's why the alternative dispute resolution, we have a mediation approach, conflict resolution and prevention, but it requires officer with the skill. Because if you don't have the skill, you can exacerbate the issue. Equality before the law comes in. I can know you, my friend. When you do something wrong and they carry you to the police station, I must be able to tell you the fact and be able to settle the matter. But if a policeman, my friend, does when I start, go on this side. Hey, you can I will sign for the man, here you go. What perception the person who are being offended goes with? Those are little things that the public sees, and at the end of the day, they see this. So the community policing aspect in every police station must be driven by the commander or whoever investigator. That's why we have CPOs. Sometimes the community police say, "Oh, we'll settle the matter." Then the policeman say, "No, we'll make sure they may be prosecuted." Simple issue.
So let's look at the issue of de-escalation, right?
Yeah.
The Inspector General always spoke about de-escalation. being key
Yeah.
to police work. But sometimes some of the officers feel that to de-escalate me, it shows signs of weakness on their part.
And that's what they need to understand. And that's what community policing is about. You see, community policing is about shared responsibility. And when the officer feels that he's sharing his power, and then when the officer try to have that preconceived notion that he or she sharing the power, they're trying to, make him look powerless. And no, you think the reason why we have the community watch team? The community watch team is there to buttress the effort of the police. Not that you are giving your authority to the civilian. What you are doing is that you're giving them a shared responsibility because crime cannot be fought in a vacuum. So if you went to the police station, for example, CSD may doing a case or whatever, and then the community people come and say, oh, let us have this resolved. Or we want to have the result. Then you say you want to force it?
Let's just take this quarter. How you doing and welcome to the police dialogue. How you doing and welcome to the police dialogue.
Thank you ever so much. I'm former police officer Energy Boyan. I'm calling from the U.S.
Thanks for your service. Welcome. What is your concern?
Yeah, my concern is I highly appreciate ACP Samuel for. He knows me too good. And we all work together before leaving Liberia. And I highly appreciate him for the effort he applying concerning police and community policing. And also my concern all about the two, both sides, the police and the community and to the public. We need to educate our people to understand the police activities and also the function of the police. We should not just take one side, only the police. I know that every organization will have a good one and a bad one, no matter what happens. We will continue to educate them and make sure that indeed we work alongside with the police. Really, I highly appreciate the steps you're taking going into the community and educate the people, and I highly appreciate it. So thank you ever so much, ACB and Samuel for.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you also for your concern.
Thank you for your comment.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You hear it?
Yeah, sure. In both ways, right? But you see, the thing is, the police have major responsibility in terms of de-escalating.
Yeah.
Because mind you, all the public think that you are trained to it.
Yeah.
You went through the police academy, and that's the reason why when crime has been committed and the policeman involved, for example, you think when they went to court, the policeman charge, you think the judge would not give the policeman higher punishment in terms of giving them all of them? The policeman will receive higher punishment because you are cognizant of the law.
Yeah.
You understand? So when it comes to de-escalation, we know right now we have an aggressive society. Some people, they don't understand. People are going through trauma and what have you.
This other call. Hello?
Questions off. Yeah. So, as I was saying, understanding that aspect, we need to deal with the public at the level where we need to be able to avoid situation from getting high tension, right? And that's why police officers always have to be too. You saw the traffic officer and the lady on 12th Street that abused the officer, assaulted the officer. You saw how that officer exercised maximum restraint, emotional intelligence, because you have to control your emotion. Police were attempting, I can tell you, it's attempting work. Man said I have gone in a situation where somebody had disrespected me. But you know what I did? When my officer was going high, I came down very low.
Yeah.
Because when somebody going high and you go high, it becomes a problem. So your friend, that's why your friend who is beside you must be able to tell you, say, no, let's forget it, let's leave it away. And call the person, educate them. You see what you did? And the person will understand their wrongdoing. You understand? Because you as a policeman, they will only wash your attitude and behavior. That's why at every scene the police officer went, they generally focus on the police. They're not focusing on the public. The eyeball is on the police. They don't look at the action of the public. As soon as the police try to react, then they turn the camera to the police. You understand? Because the thing that you have, that high mentality, and you are trained professional to be able to exhibit that high standard. That's why the issue of human rights, emotional intelligence, the issue of conflict resolution a great training that the IGP spoke about, that people will be trained, all of the section division will be trained within that level. You understand, to be able to bring them back home so that you can be able to understand. And let me also say this to the public, because it's two ways. It doesn't mean community policing is not a weakening terrain or weakening thing that you're trying to weaken the police officer. It's just to be able to support. It's just to be able to give create a friendly environment between law enforcement and the police so that people can be able to report crime, so that the issue of trust and confidence building can be built. But it does not give you the right to disrespect police officer under the law. And that's why the IGP said the issue of the use of force continuum, we will have to even give awareness and education at every area of the community. What happens when police officers use tear gas? What force that require tear gas to be used? What force that will require for a baton to be used? What force that will require for a pepper spray to be used? So the level of force must be equal to the level of resistance. But in the nutshell, the public must be able to respect the police. I carry the flag. Don't look at me. Look at the flag. It is the Republic of Liberia. You understand? So if you look at the flag on me, and then you assaulting me in police uniform, you're doing this and that, you're doing X, Y, Z. The law requires minimum force. The necessary force that will be able to take you, that force can be used, and it can be justifiable.
Ford, another question would be the issue of misconception.
Yeah.
Your job brings you face to face with the public, face to face with community dwellers. When you attend the meetings, what are some of the common misconceptions that community members have as it relates to the police?
So the misconception is, the police officer, they are not fair.
They are not fair.
Yeah. Police officer is not fair. Police officer take bribe. You understand? Those are some misconceptions. But where do they see these things happening at time? Someone will say yes. At the level of the zones and depot, at the level of the charge of quarter, there were mainly the police grade. Because remember, Sarapi said, the police is being created by the public. Every action of the police is being approved by member of the public. Every action of the police will be scrutinized by the public. So we are service-oriented, and that's the reason why our activities, our work will hold a high esteem of professionalism and integrity. High esteem in the public. Policemen, the way you walk, the way you even shake hands on the street is absolutely different.
Let me just hold you there for this call. Hello?
Yes, good afternoon, Honorable DCP Sam College. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Coro. What are your concerns?
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to my chief also sitting in the studio.
Yeah.
ACP4. This is Ambassador at my God Power Hiding.
Okay. Oh.
And I call you from a county resident. I want to say thanks for the great show. And firstly, thanks to the Inspector General Police for being very far-sighted, engaging with the public, doing everything possible to bring the police to his people. And that's a very great one, first time ever in our history. So we want to applaud him. And I let history take me to today that I'm part of the opening ceremony of this great show that he introduced to our people. And I think the topic is very great. I'm monitoring. Thanks so much. And I just want to hit the issue of de-escalating situation. If you want to de-escalate as a police officer, you have to be very professional. You have to be a professional person. As a police officer, you got to be professional. And in being professional, you have to be disciplined. Or else, you will escalate every situation and you will bring the weight back to the institution. So I want our officers that are listening to us so that they can be very professional in going about getting a job out there and making sure that the people feel the impact of the professionalism of the police. So that is just my little, intake. And thanks. We'll continue to monitor and we'll continue to make our input as we go on gradually. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
he tried
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
go with you as
Yeah.
in the area of de-escalation.
Yeah, it's very key.
Certainly.
And one of the things, Sam, what I want to say is that, the IGP will not leave his office to tell you what to do, you as a commander. One will not leave his office to tell me what to do as head of the community. One or two will not leave, the CSD boss will not leave. It gave every officer the responsibility to be able to work in conformity with law, work in act with the police ethic. If you look at the mission of the Liberian National Police, is based on community policing orientation. You understand? So if every officer at zones, depot, commanders, counter commanders, exercising these functions in line with community policing orientation, we wouldn't have this kind of problem existing too many. But the issue is some officers renege. You understand? And let me be very frank with you. Some officers don't like community policing.
Why do you think so?
Some of them, they see it as a way of blocking their operation. You understand what I'm saying? If the officer, for example, the CPO at the zones and depot want to, mediate against, a case between some, it's a case that involve community services. The men demand and say, no, we will prosecute the men will go to jail, and it become Liberian National Police or the government Liberia in charge.
So all of the zones and depot have CPO.
They have CPOs, and some of the CPO complain. And some of them, I talk to some of the commanders, because if the case that does not require, X, Y, Z, it become an issue. Let me tell you, when I was sent to the Central Prison Compound one time, let me just give you this story. The guy came from the prison, came there, from around that compound and prison compound. His wife, he had a fight, and, jump on here, and then little bit scrapping with a knife, and he had a blood shooting. So the guy came to us, and he laid a complaint. He said, but officer, what I want you guys to do is, I don't want the woman to be arrested. I just want you to talk to her that my woman, I love her. You understand what I'm saying? So my little officer over there, he's a late down. He said, he was doing criminal justice. He said, no, according to the law, criminal justice, as long as the police down is aware of the case, it becomes Republic of Liberia. So if you don't want your case to be whatever, we will still arrest the individual, because what we see here is a simple assault that could lead to XYZ tomorrow. So the question I asked, I said, okay, suppose the guy decide not to go to the police station.
Yeah. Who going to testify?
Who going to testify? This man, the first thing is, does he have the capability of beating a woman? Yes. He's somebody who is stronger than the woman. So what I did, I went, I said, let's go. And we went there. And I looked in her eyes. And I said to her, see, what have you done to your husband? You are a woman. Why you chose to stab your husband with a knife? It was not aggravated, it was just a little scratch, you understand? I'm not talking even aggravated, so mind you, I'm not talking the issue of intervening in police matter. It does not require rape.
Compromising
rape, compromising aggravated assault, all kind of hideous crime. No, don't get me wrong. We're talking about misdemeanor, simple issues.
Somebody wasting your soup.
Somebody doing this. So that day, I talked to the lady, she burst out with crying. Knelt down to her boyfriend and said, I'm sorry. You could see the remorse. Yeah. And the guy was so happy.
And you saw the police were different this time around.
Yeah. So the police were different. So the mingle services were rendered to people at the level of the zone. The IGP will not come down. Because when something happened, they're going to put a picture on the newspaper, right?
Yeah, sure.
The officer who did that not going to be on the newspaper.
Sure.
Because whatever you do going to reflect on the head of the institution. So that's the reason why all zone commander, counter commander, we talk to them, be sensitive to community policing. Move your work in that level. Command safety to the public. Not that you try to give or overlook your power or giving all responsibility or whatever. We're only trying to tell you that because you cannot fight crime without the acquiescence of the community.
Yeah, Ford, with the level of work that you have done, or the department has done, in terms of pushing the police message to the community. Are you satisfied with the level of work, or do you at times face some challenges? And if so, what are those challenges? What are some of the things that are impeding your work?
The challenges are enormous because, police work, it needed the requisite logistics to be able to do X, Y, Z. So mobility, for example, motorbike and all these things, especially at the CPO. I get one of my officers in Bapru who go in the village, in the town. The officer go there, use his own, resources and what have you. And, because going to the isolated area, it gave the sense of belongings. It tell the people will feel the police presence, the people will feel that, yes, I'm being protected by someone. And that's the reason why we are also calling on community leaders, community members in community. We train community watch team because we need people to buttress the effort of the police. Neighborhood watch team, the establishment of neighborhood watch team, community security is one of our paramount support in terms of that. We train them on a similar basis where we conduct training in human rights. We conduct training in the code of conduct for community policing. We conduct training in the area of conflict resolution. We conduct training in the area of the criminal justice system, understanding the role, the dynamics of the Liberian criminal justice system, the role of the community. These are things that are taught. And I can tell you it has worked. It has worked over the period of time. It has been proven. It has been tested. It has worked over the period of time. So the engagement will have to do it on a robust level. Like we made a proposal, the IGP has said that we should be able to do our, we organize our school outreach activity program in all schools. We try to introduce different programs wherein we have meet a challenge, wherein we can debate on some issue with regards teaching the kids about the police. If you answer a question, then we'll get you a prize. Making organizing tournament. Introducing, for example, the car wash program. What does it mean for a police officer to wash a car and then giving awareness to the driver? While you washing the car, you'll be surprised.
Yes, yeah.
Police officer wiping the car, the driver car, and then explaining some of his duty awareness. Don't take 4% on the bar. Please do not do this. Please do not do. Those are awareness. It brings out an issue of social cohesion or people-to-people approach. Community policing is a patient issue also. It requires patience. Sometimes we solve problems. We sit in our offices at the conference room. We solve huge community problem. The issue of leadership. One of my officers, guess what? He was able to resolve 9 years of conflict among family. 9 years. After he did that, the family said, what can we do for you? They gave him land, plot of land. Don't ask me, say the man received gratuity. 9 years conflict. People watching. CPO 6, where? The best man called, he said, officer, I see you doing your work every time, no vehicle, no nothing, you moving, you go into the community, you're not requesting for money. When we tell you to come, you come. When we tell you to do this, you're doing it, and you're doing it in the expeditious manner. You're not requesting for any money or any XYZ. What can we do for you to help your mobility? They gave the officer one Jeep. Clean Jeep. He came to the office, he said, "For chief, I want you to say." So the service orientation is important. When somebody is served, you know what it requires? Because what's suffering us, let me be reverent, we talk something what we call the motto of the French Revolution, what we call equality before the law. Equality before the law.
Yeah.
What happened if the poor man went to the police station? And what happened if the rich man went to the police station? What treatment you offering both parties?
Everybody should be treated on a fair basis.
Equally. Fair basis.
Okay, ACB fourth time has caught up with us, and it's like we want to bring you back another time.
Yeah.
Thanks to all of our viewers. We come to the end of the Police Dialogue. We have had as our special studio guest on the first edition of this program, the Chief of Community Service here at the Liberian National Police, Assistant Commissioner of Police, Samuel G. Ford. My name is Sam Collins. The program comes back on next Tuesday. On next Tuesday, we'll be looking at the role of women in law enforcement here in Liberia, with special emphasis on the Liberian National Police. Tita Wilson, the Chief of Gender, has agreed to sit with us to discuss that important topic. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
the community leaders discuss crime prevention, community policing, road safety, and how citizens can help. Tune in, ask questions, be a part of the conversation that builds a safer Liberia. Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Police Dialogue, join the Liberian National Police and community leaders for weekly conversation on safety, rights, and road safety. Tune in on the official LNP Facebook page, Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Have you ever wondered how the Liberian National Police keep our community safe? Want to know your rights in the role you play? Introducing Police Dialogue, an interactive public service podcast. Each week, senior officers, law enforcement experts, the community leaders discuss crime prevention, community policing, road safety, and how citizens can help. Tune in, ask questions, be a part of the conversation that builds a safer Liberia. Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Police Dialogue, join the Liberian National Police and community leaders for weekly conversation on safety, rights, and road safety. Tune in on the official LNP Facebook page, Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Have you ever wondered how the Liberian National Police keep our community safe? Want to know your rights in the role you play? Introducing Police Dialogue, an interactive public service podcast. Each week, senior officers, law enforcement experts, the community leaders discuss crime prevention, community policing, road safety, and how citizens can help. Tune in, ask questions, be a part of the conversation that builds a safer Liberia. Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Police Dialogue, join the Liberian National Police and community leaders for weekly conversation on safety, rights, and road safety. Tune in on the official LNP Facebook page, Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Have you ever wondered how the Liberian National Police keep our community safe? Want to know your rights in the role you play? Introducing Police Dialogue, an interactive public service podcast. Each week, senior officers, law enforcement experts, the community leaders discuss crime prevention, community policing, road safety, and how citizens can help. Tune in, ask questions, be a part of the conversation that builds a safer Liberia. Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Police Dialogue, join the Liberian National Police and community leaders for weekly conversation on safety, rights, and road safety. Tune in on the official LNP Facebook page, Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Have you ever wondered how the Liberian National Police keep our community safe? Want to know your rights in the role you play? Introducing Police Dialogue, an interactive public service podcast. Each week, senior officers, law enforcement experts, the community leaders discuss crime prevention, community policing, road safety, and how citizens can help. Tune in, ask questions, be a part of the conversation that builds a safer Liberia. Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Police Dialogue, join the Liberian National Police and community leaders for weekly conversation on safety, rights, and road safety. Tune in on the official LNP Facebook page, Police Dialogue, working together for peace, protection, and progress. Have you ever wondered how the Liberian National Police keep our community safe? Want to know your rights and the role you play?